And welcome to everyone joining us here on this Friday or Saturday, depending upon when you're watching. But welcome to On the Ring Aprons showing of Top Rope Spoilers, where we are here to discuss NXT or WWE No Mercy, airing Saturday night at Fort Lauderdale, with an opportunity to showcase the NXT roster, as well as potentially a TNA invasion that may be potentially on its way. This is our prediction show for it. If anybody would like to join in, for those of you who are new or even those that have been with us for a while, you can go to our YouTube channel. The link is right there, youtube.com/@ontheringapron/posts. And it'll allow you to be able to see our entire YouTube channel, as well as have an opportunity to be able to vote on who you believe is going to win each of the respective matches. Now, normally I would have my two wonderful ladies, Kia and Alyssa, off to my side. Unfortunately, work schedules have prevented them from doing so, so I am doing a double recording. My episode of Plate Exchange with Stephanie Vauquer's side plates going on the Women's World Championship just got posted a little while ago. So you're welcome to go back and keep an eye on that. We always appreciate the love and support. And for those of us who are joining our show, having also been a part of our Mania Club Champions for Hope charity stream last week, we were able to attribute to nearly $2,300 worth of donations during that period of time. A huge shout out, a huge love to everyone that was a part of that, as we, are able to not only reach our goal of $30,000 for the 2025 fiscal year, but we also have moved past that goal as well, as now we're going to aim to see just how high can we get it prior to the end of the year. But with that, we are here to talk about NXT No Mercy, because it'll be just me talking, just brief. The ladies have provided their selections, so that way we can be able to put them out there. A chance to show off our scoreboard here real quick from our 6th season. I currently have a slight edge over the On the Ring Apron group, our OTRA universe, by a point. Alyssa trailing just a little bit behind, but she did pick up some ground after WrestlePalooza. Kia with a little bit of work to do, but is still very much in the running. We've got 5-point Royal Rumbles. We have multiple point opportunities when it comes to Survivor Series or War Games. So there are plenty of point opportunities to be able to be had as we go along. But either way, I'll go ahead and move into our matches. Very brief description of each, and then an opportunity for us to be able to announce who we're picking. If you're watching this live stream or are watching this on YouTube a little bit later, be sure to throw your comments and throw your predictions into our thing, because of course we want the opportunity to be able to hear from our OTRA universe and how we feel. And of course, make sure you go to the link. I'll post it several times throughout the video, so that way you can be able to be a part of it. But we're going to go ahead and move into our first match of the card, and that is a basic rivalry match that has really come to fruition over the last several weeks, as Josh Briggs and Javon Evans, for the second major event in a row, will go head-to-head. Really just both are jockeying for position in terms of being in that number one contendership position for the NXT Championship. And it seems like each time that someone is able to get kind of an upper hand, you ultimately see the other kind of step in the way. Evans, of course, has had multiple chances to defeat Obafemi and win the NXT Championship, has not been able to successfully do so. Josh Briggs had an opportunity to become number one contender for this very event, but ended up falling to the now number one contender, Ricky Saints. So now we have Briggs and Evans once again going back and forth, and this one will hopefully be the one that kind of decides it as we go along. But we're going to go ahead and, give our selections here. Both myself and Alyssa are both going with Javon Evans. We believe that since Briggs was able to get the advantage last time, we feel that it is seemingly in place for Evans to be able to pick up the victory this time. Whether that will lead to a third in the trilogy or not, I'm not sure. Kia is going to go with Josh Briggs. Primarily, she says I'm picking him because I feel like I need the point, and I'm going to have an opportunity to be able to try to work my way back into it. Of course, you have to pick opposite of us and hope for a little luck in order to have that happen. But she does feel that Josh Briggs has Javon's number and will continue to dominate. So I'm going with Evans. Kia is going with Josh Briggs, and Alyssa is going with Javon Evans as well. Moving into the second match on the card, and that is for, let me get the right one up here, but that is the finals for the NXT WWE, not sure how they're officially declaring it now, but for the Speed Championship that is currently now completely devoted towards NXT, as the current NXT Women's Speed Champion, also Women's North American Champion, Sol Ruca, will defend her championship against the winner of the mini #1 contenders tournament that has happened over the last several weeks on NXT, and that is NXT upstart Lainey Reed. Reed able to successfully defeat both Fabi Apache from AAA, as well as SmackDown superstar Candice LeRae, a former Speed champion herself, in order to earn this match against Sol Ruca. Ruca has been firing on another level, and it does appear as if the need for her to successfully defend 2 possible championships has not really slowed her down or slowed down her momentum. So we are getting good vibes and good feelings from Sol Ruca, but Lainey Reed seems to be coming into her own as of late. And it'll be interesting to see if, with, of course, being a speed match, only 5 minutes to allow Reed to be able to beat Ruca, can she be able to do so? We do move into our selections for this one. I am actually going to be the only person that's going to go with Sol Ruca in this match. I think that she is just operating on a level that is defining the NXT women's division, very similar to the storyline with, say, with Fatal Influence and Lola Vice, and then even the side story right now with Lash Legend, Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, etc. All of the women's storylines have seemingly big stipulations and push behind them. But I think Sol is operating on another level. Also, I think if you were to define speed in terms of WWE in-ring performance, I think Sol Ruca would be the name that you would pair to that. Kia and Alyssa, however, are going with the upstart Lainey Reed to pull the upset. They feel that with this being the first women's speed championship match to be televised, they feel like a title change could happen. There's also been some potential ups about Lainey Reed maybe getting a little bit of professional assistance and courtesy out of a professional respect from people like JC Jane and Fallon Henley. So it's curious to see if maybe Fatal Influence will play a role, considering there also previous issues with Zaruka as well. So I'm going with Sol Ruca. Kia and Alyssa are both going with Lainey Reed. Our third match is staying in the women's division, and that is a matchup in a weaponized steel cage match between former friends for a short time, now absolute bitter rivals, in that of Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. The two of them really, since Monroe's first appearance in NXT, have really been at each other's throats. Of course, they did pair together at the Great American Bash a couple of months ago and successfully won, but Blake would end up costing Jordan the NXT Women's Championship at Evolution the next evening, and thus the two of them have not been able to really put a cap on this rivalry between the two. Right now, Blake holds essentially a 2-shot advantage, because not only did she cost Grace the championship against JC Jane, but also has a pinfall victory over Jordan Grace a couple of weeks ago. But now you're going to add in the fact that this rivalry must come to an end. Not only will the match be inside of a steel cage, but it also will be a weaponized steel cage, which means anything and everything that these women want to bring into the cage is legal, and the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. Moving to our selections for this particular match, I, as well as Alyssa, are both going to go with Jordan Grace. Kia is going with Blake Monroe. Kia believes that Blake has Jordan's number and just seemingly cannot mentally be able to get past her. Alyssa and I both are of similar vibes, that we feel that Jordan Grace is due for a win. She has been consistently taking L's on major live events. The only win she's had in the last 6 months on a premium live event has been teaming with Blake Monroe. And I understand the need to have Monroe successfully pushed over, but she has already taken some losses, a pair of losses to Kalani Jordan. But it seems like Jordan needs this win just a little bit more. And I think we're going to start seeing a darker side of both of these ladies in this particular match, as they essentially are going to be able to kind of go at each other in any way they see fit. Halfway through our show, let's move into our fourth match on the card, and all the remaining matches are championship matches. And we will begin with the match for the NXT North American Championship. This is a matchup between the current North American champion, All Ego Ethan Page, and former No Quarter Catch Crew competitor turned proud American competitor in that of Tavion Heights. Now, this one began as an initial rivalry to try to establish which North American country produces the better athletes. Ethan Page, along with Chelsea Green, happily representing the country of Canada, Tavion Heights representing the United States. And we've seen a tag team match, a mixed tag match that ultimately Page and Green went over Heights and his team, but now they have continued to keep pushing at each other, and now Tavion gets what he has desired from Ethan Page, and that is a one-on-one opportunity for the North American Championship. Moving to our selections on this one, all three of us are on the same page. We do feel that Ethan Page is going to retain the North American Championship. We think his momentum is just too strong right now. And while we believe that Tavion is building himself to good things, I do believe he was kind of just the next person in line to get into a main story. And we don't feel the time is right yet for Tavion to be holding singles gold. With that being the case, we are going with Ethan Page once again to find a way to slip past Ethan Page, or past Tavion Heights, and he will retain the NXT North American Championship as he continues to ride the momentum as he, the self-declared greatest North American of all time. 2 matches to go. We now move into our co-main event, and that is for the NXT Women's Championship. Battling for it in what essentially is going to be a home match for the challenger. It will be the NXT Women's Champion, JC Jane, continuing to play the role, self-proclaimed as the underdog, against hometown hero Miami and Fort Lauderdale's own Lola Vice. This is not Vice's first opportunity to win the Women's Championship, as she has had multiple opportunities going back a couple of years ago to win. She tried to cash in the breakout tournament contract unsuccessfully against Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez. But Lola has also shown her ability to be able to compete against the best of the best. She has beaten Shayna Baszler in Underground. She has gone to AAA and has absolutely been successful in building the AAA WWE co-branding together, and has been essentially the face of their women's division along with Natalya over in AAA. But she now gets an opportunity to try to wrench the gold away from the formerly now surprising champion, but now entering one of the longer reigns in NXT Women's Championship history, in that of JC Jane. They did recently, on the last episode of NXT, part ways with Jasmine Nix. For those who are not aware, Jasmine is leaving the company. So ultimately, she has been written off, and Fatal Influence is now down to just 2 members. So it is curious to see if now, with the numbers advantage not being so strongly in favor of JC Jane, if that will make a difference. And according to our selections, we believe it will, as all 3 of us are going with a title change here, and we are going to all 3 go with Lola Vice to defeat JC Jane to win the NXT Women's Championship. We feel the moment's right for Lola. She has done everything the company's asked her to do, and we do believe that, you know, you need to put yourself in a successful position that if you do for the company, eventually the company does for you. Also, you know, having the essential home field advantage with it being so close to her hometown of Miami, is going to help play a role in having the crowd behind her. And we believe that is going to be what is going to give Lola that push. And she will be the one with a single knockout punch to be able to successfully wrench the championship away from JC Jane. We both, or all three of us, excuse me, are going with a new NXT Women's Champion. We believe this is the title that's going to kind of steal the show in this particular instance, with Lola Vice winning the title. And then finally moving into our main event on the card, and that is for the NXT Championship. This has been one that has kind of ridden simultaneously alongside the rails of the TNA Invasion storyline, as this match was originally set to be for not only the NXT Championship, but also potentially for the TNA World Championship as well. But due to TNA outside interference, the championship match from this last Tuesday between NXT champion Oba Femi and TNA World Champion Trick Williams resulted in a no contest, allowing both of them to be able to retain their championships. So Ricky Saints, seemingly just laser focused on getting the goal of being the NXT champion, will now battle against Oba Femi, who seems to be having more challengers by the day. Now, Ricky has been very upfront that he came here to win championships. He came here because he is the Revolution. But Oba has been steadfast in saying, you're nothing special. I don't know what you see in yourself or what everyone else sees in you, but to me, there's nothing special or nothing unique about you. So it'll be curious to see if Oba Femi will be able to back up the words. He has been certainly pushed to his limit in the last several matches, including being unofficially pinned by Javon Evans in his last title defense in controversial fashion. Ricky Saints, however, does bring his own special flair to these matches and is known to be able to compete at the highest level, but is it enough for him to get a rise similar to that of Julia and Stephanie Vaquer last year in the women's division, for him to go from newcomer to NXT champion so quickly? It's been seen, as we've seen Kevin Owens get a push that quickly, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode as well, but it's been a while since we've seen one that has been able to come in and go from newcomer to champion that quickly. Oba Femi, obviously destined to be heading to the main roster and being a competitive force over there soon. So it is going to be interesting to see in what is likely going to be the main event of No Mercy, whether they will pull the trigger on crowning a new champion. When we do move into our selections, though, and again, our link is down below, so I'm going to throw that in there one more time for you here. Again, you can put in your votes at youtube.com/@ontheringapron/posts and place your votes here. Well, the votes are good until the bell rings. Once the bell rings, the vote is official, and whoever has the highest percentage of votes at that stage is who the OTRAs officially take. Again, showing the scoreboard here, the OTRAs very close behind me, with Alyssa and Kia trailing, but not by a ton. So plenty of work still to be done. But in our championship match in the main event of No Mercy, all three of us are going with Oba Femi to retain. We believe that there's likely going to be some shenanigans with the potential TNA invasion. They definitely are having problems with the WWE universe, and just because Trick is holding the championship essentially in NXT territory doesn't mean that they're going to stop at just having stop interfering in particular things like that. Oba has also had previous issues with Dark State as well, so it is always, of course, possible that they could get involved as well. But over the course of his two respective title reigns with both the North American and now the NXT Championship, Oba has always seemingly found a way to get that next level, to hit that next step when it is needed, and we don't feel this one's going to be any different. I do believe this is a match that could very well steal the show. It's the main event for a reason, but we all three are going with Oba Femi, the ruler, to continue to keep ruling NXT until somebody takes it from him. And that's what he said himself. I want someone to come take this championship from me. And right now, he hasn't found anyone that is worthy of doing so. But with that, that ends our top rope spoilers for NXT No Mercy coming up this Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Very early in the morning, midnight if you're out in the UK or out in Europe. Again, Alyssa and Kia send their love to everyone. If they, of course, would love to do this. We tried for 2 days to try to set up a stream. The work timing just never was able to work out, and unfortunately, we're just now out of time in order to be able to put something out here. So we get this quick voiceover one from me. But those are our essential picks. Once again, one last time, our link is down below, youtube.com/@ontheringapron/posts to be able to put in your votes. And, if you're watching this later on, who do you pick? Put it in the comments below. We do respond to comments. We do respond to live streams to where when we're on live that, we do actively talk with our audience because we want it to be more of a wholesome family friends type of setting versus just sit in here and listen to me talk. We appreciate everybody that comes in and does it. And speaking of live stream, do join us on Saturday for No Mercy. We are going to live stream that particular event and have some fun along the way. So if you are following us on all of our social medias, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on Twitch, we're on Discord, YouTube, of course. Take a second to come find us. Take a second to follow us and then watch for that live that's going to start maybe 15-20 minutes or so before we get to the event. A combination of that along with a lot of really good college football. So it's going to be a 2 TV day for the OTRA household over here. But on behalf of all of us at On the Ring Apron and for those that are with us through Mania Club, we appreciate every effort you did, especially during the month of September for our Champions Month. For Champions of Hope and the Mania Club Foundations that we represent. Crushing our $30,000 charity goal has been a very major deal. It's wonderful to have Plate Exchange back. It's wonderful to have Pour the Tea back. The ladies have an episode coming up, as we mentioned on Plate Exchange earlier in the day, that they're going to talk about the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500 that came out and where they think they got it right, and a number of places where the ladies think they missed. But we'll have some fun with that and get a chance to pour the tea with them and let them throw their sense. But either way, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you for Plate Exchange as well as Pour the Tea coming up in the future, and of course our watch party tomorrow. This is Steve of On the Ring Apron. You guys have a good one.